all kinds of cool stuff to check out all of a sudden. Already we got the first music video from NEXTG, and this should be fun. Now, we've already heard this song, unless you didn't watch the second season of NEXZ Project, right? So, well, we'll listen for anything that stands out that might be different, but also just to see their first music video project, you know what I mean? And it's really cool to think about the way these things happen, because as we've been watching the series, they were probably already working on this, you know? And so just kind of keep in mind the timeline, like the way the scheduling has to work out, and it's a cool thing. But it's interesting to see them already dropping the first, you know, pre-debut sort of music video. This is fun. I think this is gonna be good.
Everything about you is incredible. Feeling like a witness, like a miracle. 빛이 안 보인 어둠 속 너를 찾아 더 뻔한 손 아무런 보장이 없는 희망이 나를 이끌지 날 일으키지 네가 바로 날 destiny 믿었어 우린 meant to be 나에게는 네가 나를 살게 하는 air that I breathe 너도 나처럼 날 기다려줄 거란 믿음만으로도 난 paradise I'm out there, we're climbing cause on the horizon 믿고 있었어 I saw all right 그리고 time stops 내 앞에 다가오는 널 보는데 모든 아픔 다 있네 이 순간 꿈만 같은데 This must be a miracle 여기 너와 나 네가 날 바라볼 때마다 매일 밤 I dream of this 꿈꿔왔던 wish 믿기지 않아 지금 이 순간 멀게만 보이던 그 길 끝에 결국 finally I get to say I love you and you're so beautiful unbelievable it's a miracle a miracle 포기할 수는 없었어 나는 Ooh baby baby 너여야만 하니까 널 떠올릴 때마다 나에겐 Ooh baby baby you're all that I desire 너의 그 미소를 떠올리면 나도 미소를 지어 그러면 All my senses overloaded Hope to touch you love you hold you 이 순간만을 기다렸어 그리고 time stops 내 앞에 나를 보는 널 보는데 아직 믿을 수 없네 이 순간 꿈만 같은데 This must be a miracle 여기 너와 나 네가 날 바라볼 때마다 매일 밤 I dream of this 꿈꿔왔던 wish 믿기지 않아 지금 이 순간 멀게만 보이던 그 길 끝에 결국 finally I get to say I love you and you're so beautiful unbelievable it's a miracle and let's get into that 라디오 왜 매일 있듯이 내 곁에 네가 없는 건 상상을 못해 걱정하지 마 그대 있을 거야 every night every day
It's a good vibe, yeah. Get on the rise, yeah. You are my pride, think you're right. Let me say to you one more time.
Baby, this must be a miracle. 여기 너와 나 네가 날 바라볼 때마다 매일 밤 I dream of this 꿈꿔왔던 wish 믿기지 않아 지금 이 순간 멀게만 보이던 그 길 끝에 결국 finally I get to say I love you and you're so beautiful unbelievable it's a miracle a miracle
Oh man, it's so good. It's so good. They're already in there, man. I mean, like the track itself is actually really good. Like it matches really this more recent gen type of vibe, you know what I mean? It's got a great shuffle rhythm in it, right? Like its main sort of boom, da boom, boom, da boom. It's got this little a very dance heavy kind of shuffle beat that's going on. There's like a wonderful bass line in there too. The pre-chorus section adds a bit of chromaticism to the song that really makes it quite interesting there. Like that build up right before the hook comes in. It's very impactful. You have the main progression that's going on. There's the bass line is a little bit more playful there, and it feels more like some licks that are being played, and it's really fun. That was something that stood out even at stage performances, like during the show at the finale. And then there's this synth arpeggiator that's going on, and like between, that's probably throwing a seventh in there on a couple of the chords, but it gives it this chromatic quality, and it's like it harmonically is a very strong point in the song. And the line, because in the finale of the show, of course, you had two groups, right? So the formations, the line distributions were specific to what those teams were, and it's a little bit different in this final, version that has been released, but it's very good. It was interesting in the because Yui and Yuki were in one group together, and they kind of split the rap verse. Yui came out with the first part, and then Yuki followed with but in this music video version, you got Yui still kicks it off in the beginning, but then it goes to Seita, who finishes that section, and but it sounds good. Seita's actually he's pretty good at delivering that as well. And everybody sounds like really great. They're quite a tonal shift now, actually. I think about it, with this new line distribution. Like some of the lines, he had some pretty difficult lines in there, but I mean, it just means that he's getting better because he's able to handle hanging around in the sort of upper end of the register. And it's pretty cool, man. I mean, it's because that's another change up. Like they worked really hard, and like they all know the song, right? They all have it down because of the way they had to practice it and perform it. But now it's like, okay, we're gonna throw another little spin in there, you know what I mean? And the line distribution is gonna be changed up now, and everybody has to adjust to different parts. But it was very well done, actually. They sound like really good, man. And they look, like they're pros already. Like they're already in it. But the styles, the aesthetic, and everything. Like, oh man, they got such a great job on this, man. Like it's incredible. It's really cool. It's really cool to see them, actually break out their first official music video. Okay, so let's see.
Everything about you is incredible. Feeling like a witness, like a miracle.
So Haru gets the first line there, that sort of spoken line, and he's actually really strong in this. It's a good initial sound right at the beginning. It's kind of it's more like that talk singing or sing speak kind of, because it's more rhythmic intensive. There's not really melody going on. It's a consistent pitch, but he sounds good. He's got like enough substance, there's enough breath behind it. It is supposed to have a little bit of like a sort of voce quality to it, like a little bit, but it sounds good over the mix. We got this like sort of, in 4, we got like a big sort of triplet group at the beginning. So over the first and second beats, you're getting 1, 2, 3, right? It's a triplet group. And then the last 2 beats, you're getting 3, 4. So it's an interesting rhythm, fairly complex for like the first song. You know what I mean? Like the first song you're doing, but it's actually rhythmically quite busy, what's going on here. But once you get the hang of it, then you can pretty much lock into it. But really cool sort of minimalist, beginning, some light percussion, some synthy bass that's going on.
테니 믿었어 우린 meant to be 나에게는 네가 나를 살게 하는 air that I breathe 난 너도 나처럼 날 기다려줄 거라 믿음만으로 난 paradise I'm out there we're climbing cause on the horizon 믿고 있었어 so we'll rise
Lots of like very busy rhythmic changes, a lot of it, you know. Once we get into this part and that synth bass comes in, this sort of sustained bass that's actually playing whole notes, right? And you can really start to pinpoint the progression at that point because it's giving you the root. But you have everything going on as far as the vocal melodies. Like you got triplets, you got 16th note groups, you got those shuffle rhythms are sort of dot flags, you know, it's like a dotted eighth tied to a 16th note, but all the rhythms have this characteristic like expansion and contraction that's going on. And like with these last two lines, a bit more of an intense rhythm at the beginning, kind of broken up, and then like more syncopated at the first half, and then the second half becomes this legato that starts to carve out a melody line. But everybody sounds incredible, man. And yeah, that synth bass comes in and it sounds like so cool, right? All of a sudden it gives it this, it's like it's glowing, but it's also cool. Like it's not like a hot sound. It's interesting.
그리고 time stops 내 앞에 다가오는 널 보는데 모든 아픔 다 있네 이 순간 꿈만 같은데 This must be a miracle 여기 너와 나 네가 날 바라볼 때마다 매일 밤 I dreamed of this 꿈꿔왔던 wish 믿기지 않아 지금 이 순간 멀게만 보이던 그 길 끝에 결국 finally I get to say I love you and you're so beautiful unbelievable it's a miracle
They have really good vocal harmonizations too. They're so they're extremely tight in range. Like, you know, there's, if you're stacking root, third, fifth, or however it's written, there's not a dramatic amount of space in between these different pitches, right? But it has a nice body. It has a nice like resonance. It definitely, but you can pick them out. In other words, you can hear where the bottom and then the third and then, you know, the fifth over, you can hear these different sounds. That chorus section builds up in a very colorful way. At first you have like the bass and the percussion really syncing up as far as the rhythm. So you get that bass sound, that cool sort of like tubular kind of synth bass sound following what the percussion is doing. And then you start to get there's another synth in there. It might be keys. It almost has it's almost strings, right? Like there's a little bit of tension to the sound, and it feels like they're sort of stacking out some chords, or at least parts of chords. You know, I'm not sure if it's just one tone. It sounds like it's a couple of pitches together, and that's what's created. Like the closeness is creating a sort of feeling of tension, but it all starts to sort of layer in with all this color, starting at the bottom and then building up. You know, you get sort of it's not the exact arpeggiator from the previous section, but it's working with the same chord, right? It's outlining the same chord, because I can hear that same quality again come back around on the second half of this hook section here. But the harmonies are really nice. Strings. String fill. Yeah. So we got Tomoya and Yuki coming in, right, on singing these next verse lines, and the dynamics are now well, the change in pitch quality, actually, they're singing higher melody lines, and at the same time we get the introduction of string sounds. Like, it was a very nice, they're playing a melody, they're going along with the chord progression, and then there's a nice fill at the end of Tomoya's line, and then they start to get a little bit more syncopated in the during Yuki's line, but it's changing and developing on the overall color, that's got a tonal sort of character of the section here. It's just, and creating a contrast between what the first verse section was and what the second verse section is, and introducing these vocal ranges that are a little bit higher now. But very, very well done, man. They sound really awesome. Tomoya has to work with some of that inflection and some of that sort of, keeping enough of a full voice, but still sort of dancing around where the head voice is. Really delicate work by you on that line. It's like he worked on that. It's just, from watching the series and everything, and seeing how the training for this song actually went down, but he's come a long way. As the vocal work is like really, really coming along. So the harmonies are definitely split up between the left and the right. I think on the first pre-chorus, I want to say I heard more of them on the right, and some of that rhythm section of the mix filling in on the left. But this time around was definitely at least one voice panned left and another voice panned right, and I think a third voice somewhat balanced in between, so feeling like it's in the middle. But it's a really nice harmonization sound, though. Like, it has like a soft quality to it. Of course, a lot of that has to do with the delivery of the way that the lines are supposed to be sung, but they just have this characteristically like cool but also sweet kind of sound. It's a very good expression.
Must be a miracle. 여기 너와 나 네가 날 바라볼 때마다 매일 밤 I dream of this 꿈꿔왔던 wish 믿기지 않아 지금 이 순간 멀게만 보이던 그게 finally I get to say I love.
Oh, there's something like a shaker sound on the left that's going tick 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 on every downbeat. It's giving you this little like shuffle rhythm, and it sounds like a shaker, like a it's a really light percussive element. This is the first time I noticed it, but it's now we're starting to get all that rhythm. Like, the colors start to add up, right? All these layers start stacking as this section reaches its peak.
라디오에 매일 있듯이 내 곁에 네가 없는 건 상상을 못해 걱정하지 마 그대 있을 거야 every night every day
It's a good vibe, yeah. Get on the rise, yeah. You are my pride, think you're right. Let me say to you one more time, baby.
I can't tell. There's some like swept synth bass that's going on there that's kind of like shifting a little bit as the verse line is going on. There's a backing harmonization, but it's so clean, like it's so smooth. I can't tell if that's some kind of light keys or if it's vocal harmonizations. It would just be ooh, like they're just following the chord progression. It's sustained whole notes across it, but it's such a clean sound. I want to say it's more like a synth keys kind of a thing. But it could be vocals. I'm not gonna say that it's not, like that they couldn't do it or something, but it's a really, really ridiculously clean sound.
Baby, this must be a miracle 여기 너와 나 네가 날 바라볼 때마다 매일 밤 I dream of this
Oh my goodness, man. So cool. So cool. Just to see the actual, like, debut drop for the group and everything, is that they sound really great. It's a wonderful mix, man. When you see the finale on the show, it's like the acoustic qualities of like what you're hearing are a little bit obscured, because it's an indoor performance setting, so there's like a production treatment that has to serve that purpose. And then for the actual version that you're watching, there's another sort of layer of audio production that makes it suitable for watching the program, actually. So some of that stuff is a little bit obscured, right? But actually getting to hear the clean mix of the songs, man, it's really good, dude. It reminds me of like a lot of the recent ITZY sounds, you know what I mean? Like it just it matches it in terms of like its overall character. It's really cool. It has like this is a minor key song, but the sweetness of a lot of the vocals, a lot of the more melodic elements of the song keep it very light. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with like the vocal work. I just, this is just because I watched the series, right? So I have that to sort of refer to, but it's they've definitely, like, man, gone through this process and reached this incredible level. It's exactly the same as it was with NEXZ and the first, NEXZ project season. Like to see them from the beginning and to go through all the way and make it to the end, and then debut right with the group. It's like it's wild. Some of the, I mean, like Tomoyo was always good, Haru was always good. They've been that way since the beginning. And then there are some members like Yui and Yuki. Like these guys. I'm like, whoa, dude! It's just really awesome. And when you finally see the whole concept tied together in the music video presentation of it, man, this is really fun. It's really cool. They're a solid group, and they're going to do some really cool stuff, man. Like this is only the beginning. Like, you know what I mean? What they have in store, the stuff that's coming on down the line, like, it's going to be some incredible stuff. I can't wait for the other songs. I mean, I already have it, the track, at least this one, on it's on YouTube Music, so it's probably on Spotify and everything else too. And I'm just waiting for the other recordings to drop, the other two songs, because those probably are gonna to hear the final mix, the final mix, and not the group or team specific arrangements that were done for the show. That's what makes it interesting, and just to see a full group behind it, right? Like a whole line distribution for all the members, and it gives it more a richer sound, a fuller sound, a stronger sound. And but the mixes are great. All the songs that were done for the series, they're really good, actually. They're like super interesting rhythmically. A lot of it has to do with the rhythm. The progressions are fairly straightforward. Good use of the chromaticism, like I said, especially in that pre-chorus section. But it's the rhythmic intensity of this song, and I know from hearing the other two at the finale, the stage performances, it's the same thing with those. Like there's some really interesting rhythmic things that are going on, and so again, for them to reach this point where everybody's able to perform this stuff, it's pretty cool, man. All right, I'm excited. I'm very happy for this group. I'm gonna be watching for their stuff. Certainly, this is a cool time. It was like, if you and I know some people don't like the whole reality series like to make the group, because it is quite an investment, and it is like, but if you do like those, if you haven't seen the second season of NEXZ project, it's very, very good. It's like it truly is. It lives up to the first season, what that was, and the group that we got from the first season in NEXZ, and then this group NextG from the second season. It's exactly the same quality. Like it's right. It's on point. It definitely is. I will say that right up front, readily. But this was awesome. It's an awesome song, an awesome mix, very well done by the group. Man, this is going to be quite a time to see the beginnings of like this new group, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So watch for NextG, Miracle, the Korean version too. It's really well done. They handled everything as close to perfect as you can. Like, this is spot on the whole way through.